So we got a fire cold call lead come in for self-storage deal. Nice size self-storage deal. I don't get a lot of cold calls for a 70,000 square foot facility. So he had financials ready to go. We didn't get the P&Ls, but we got all the management summary, unit mix, occupancy reports. We got all that. It's pretty much most of what we need. And so put it into underwriting, did research on the property, comps, everything looks like a good opportunity. There's ad value there, not only expansion, but his rents are below market. It's like 70% economic occupancy, so his rents are lower than market. And so there's value there, free and clear property, so we're gonna try to work some seller financing. Let's see what we can do.
All right, hold on one moment.
Hey, Kevin, how you doing?
Good, how you doing?
I am fantastic and amazing, sir. It does not. Joel sent me over all the information you sent him over to. I was in the doctor's office with my wife. We're waiting to have our second baby. It could be any day now here, so it's very exciting.
Cool, yes. Luck with that.
Thank you. I just got back to the office, so I wanted to jump on a call because while I was sitting there in the waiting room, I was kind of going through everything and that he sent over. They make you wait for a long time there. And so I went through everything, and it's actually, your property seems very familiar to me compared to another deal we just purchased, kind of similar situation, similar size. How long have you owned this property?
We started building it, actually we owned it since 95, but we actually started renting sheds in 97.
Nice. And so are all the buildings from 1997, or are you kind of expanded over time?
Well, what we did 3 rows, the first 3 rows towards the office. I don't know if you've seen an overview.
Yeah, I did.
Excuse me. But we'd take and build one shed each year, put everything back into it, and so it's taken a little bit of time. We actually just barely got our cement wall in the back paid off not too many months ago.
Nice. It's got to be a good feeling.
We just took a little bit of time. We had the students, the college and that, you can fill them up clear full through the summer months, spring and summer. And then when they come back for fall with school, then they'll empty out a little bit. Then you just kind of fill them up again, with long-term people.
Yep.
What we did. We just got her done by the 1st of April and filled it up.
Nice, yeah.
And then we go back.
Yeah, we have a property in Tallahassee, and we just recently opened in March, and we saw an influx. We're like, we leased up so quickly over the summer, and then after summer, the occupancy dropped quite a bit, and it was a little surprising. But obviously now we know, it's definitely the college summer spring situation there, similar to yours.
It just takes a little bit of time. We got some really good. Everything we got right now is long term.
Nice.
And, so we're about, I think it was 85% right now. So we've also rented. I was just talking to my secretary. We've rented 9 sheds since Christmas.
That's really good. It's like slow season too.
They empty out. You got to give it a little bit of time. You're never really full because you got them moving in and out all the time.
Oh yeah, every month, 10 move in, 10 move out. It's like clockwork almost.
Maybe 15 move out and you get 10, so you hold another 5 over till the next month, and then you fill them up.
Yeah.
It's right around that little bit of time, but it's good. We have long-term people.
That's awesome. That's great to hear.
We know where we're at. I keep my prices down a little bit lower than what other people are renting them here.
Nice. Yeah, I saw your website. You had a good website. We got a lot of good Google reviews. Seems like you're well established in the community, and people know about you, and you service them well.
Yeah, we try. Most of them. Most of them.
Yeah, right. I feel you there. Well, we recently, we're trying to buy a lot more this year. Last year we bought I think like 2 or 3 facilities. We actually bought one yesterday, a smaller property, but we're looking to really, ramp up this year. And we actually purchased one property very similar to your size. It was 80,000 square feet on 7 acres. I think yours is like 70,000 square feet on almost 5 acres. And kind of similar situation. The guy was looking to retire. He was at the property a lot, and he was just wanting to, kind of walk away and just kind of like start traveling, start enjoying life, and not be so tied to the property. And so, he didn't really know what pricing he wanted either. And so we had our initial conversations, the same as we're doing here, and just try to come up with like the best win-win scenario. And so for us, like a lot of times what we do is, we try to create win-win situations by, giving you exactly what you want, whether it is, whatever's the most important to you, whether it's price, whether it is monthly payment, whether it is interest payment. A lot of times, obviously, if you, it sounds like you have it free and clear now, right? After you paid off the cement wall, you own it free and clear?
Yeah, we do.
Yep. And so this gentleman also, he owned it free and clear also. And, so for us, instead of, he actually wanted to do seller financing. And a lot of times, sellers will give us a portion of seller financing, but for him, he had so much depreciation, he didn't want to, have to pay that back, have so much taxes to do. So we made a win-win scenario where he's like, hey, the most important thing to me is to get $20K a month. If I can get $20K a month and get the amount that makes sense for both of us on the purchase price, then it works for me. And so a lot of times we've been able to, especially nowadays with how banks have tightened up and how strict they are and just the interest rates, how high they are. It makes it a lot of times right now deals hard to pencil out to give you like a really good price that you probably deserve, but the interest rates kind of dictate. It's hard to pay those numbers sometimes because it's so high. So I'm not sure how open you are to doing something where we can do a little bit creative on the deal, where we can either give you a down payment and monthly payments, and work something out that way, where we can create that win-win situation.
Yeah, probably. I don't know if I'm getting on the street here for a sec, okay?
No problem.
Hang on just a minute and I'll get my truck.
Okay.
The tricky thing, you still there?
Yes, sir.
The tricky thing that we're doing right now is there's 3 of us. I got a brother and a good friend of mine that all 3 of us are involved in this.
Okay.
I need to kind of throw it at them.
Yep.
I just happen. They're gonna look at me like, "What? Are you crazy?" But no, I just, I was leaving the doctor's office this morning when I got a phone call from you guys, and I thought, well, maybe this is what it means.
Yeah, things happen for a reason. I know it.
Yeah, they diagnosed me as type 2 diabetes, and I'm thinking, well, maybe this is the time.
Oh no, yeah. Oh, I feel you there. Yeah, I heard you have a good number of knee surgeries yourself too.
Yeah, we've had fun.
Yeah, I've had 4 knee surgeries already. Fucking 3 ACL reconstructions and my meniscus removed. It's so tough. And then when the weather gets cold, you're all aching and hard to move.
Yeah, you'll be like me. I've had total put.
Oh wow.
And 3 back surgeries and 3 total knees. I had a good knee from the age of 15 years old. I blew it out in football. Up where my knee, my bone outside.
Oh goodness. Yeah, I did mine in playing lacrosse.
But see, back in the 70s, you didn't have the doctors they got now for the surgeries. I was actually the third one to ever have orthoscopic surgery.
Oh my goodness! Wow, that's crazy.
But that's
Wow.
not good. I had 23 orthoscopic surgeries and 3 total knees, and I just walk around funny.
Yeah, I feel you. I got cadavers in my knees. They put the joints in from cadavers, and like they don't even do that anymore.
Yeah, yeah. But I don't know. I got to go and present whatever we decide to them, and we'll just kind of work through it. And
Well, with the previous deal we bought in North Houston in Texas, that gentleman, it was his property. He's kind of the main decision maker, but it was actually owned in a trust where it was him and his daughter. So it was him and his wife at first, and then it passed to like him and his daughter. So the reason he actually wanted the $20,000 a month was so that way it was $10,000 to his daughter and $10,000 to himself every single month. And so a lot of times that's how I don't know if you have equal ownership in those in this property with your friends and brother.
you,
You do? So a lot of times you just make nice. So a lot of times, so that makes it very simple. Where a lot of times you just, if they're open to it and you're open to it, we can structure a number that makes sense. It's a win-win where we can give you a down payment that's equally distributed between you, and then the monthly payments are equally distributed between you as well. And so. And a lot of times what this allows us to do is what we typically say is, hey, we can pay your price if you can give us our terms. So, the gentleman who we bought the property from in Texas, he actually had just recently fought his property taxes, because property taxes in Texas are insane. It's insane. I looked up your property taxes, which are roughly like $43,000, right? 43,000. Yeah, and that property is $80,000 a year for like this. We're roughly the same size property, so it's crazy. But so he recently did an appraisal because he was trying to fight his property taxes, which he did. He got it down from like 120 to 80,000, and so he had appraisal in hand, and so he kind of, that's what he was kind of looking for. He's like, hey, I would probably want around this appraisal amount, and so what we actually did was, by doing financing with us, we actually paid him a premium for the property. We paid above appraisal for the property, but with a really good interest rate. And that was the win-win for us, where he got better asking price. We got a really low interest rate, but he got the payment he wanted. And we put a 10-year balloon on there, so he it's not drawn out for a long time, but it allowed us to. He got what he wanted. We got the property with a payment that allows us to cash flow, because that's the most important thing for us. Obviously, if we give you a good down payment and those monthly payments, we want to just make sure that we can get a decent return on the deal. And we're going to keep running it and maximizing the value as much as we can as we operate, and just create that win-win. And over time, eventually in the future, we will either look to refinance or pay you off.
Sure. Yeah, I think all three of us will understand that type of thing. We kind of know where we're going that way. But what have you got a figure that you could give me, and then we could do like a 3-way and work with them or something,
Yeah. Well, I can
put them on the line and get it together that.
I'm definitely open to giving a number. I put some kind of like rough numbers together, and so it kind of worked. It kind of depends on a couple different things, and so it could really be between what my number could adjust if you're like, hey, well, I want a little bit more down payment, or hey, I want a higher interest rate. So I'll give you an idea of what we paid the other guy, and I'll give you what I came up roughly for you. So the other property we bought, it's in Kingwood, Texas. It's called North Park Storage and Business Center. And we bought that property for $5.5 million. We put 15% down. We got 3% interest with amortized over 30 years with a 10-year balloon. And so, and that property was 80,000 square feet on 7 acres. It doesn't have, like, we have also like 200 parking spots. So that extra land is kind of like utilized for parking, where I know obviously you don't really have that parking. It's a little bit smaller lot. So for you, roughly what I put together, and this is just kind of like quick spitballing in the doctor's office, was $5 million with $1 million down. And I have the interest rate between like 4.5. And so those are just quick numbers. I don't know your financials, your P&Ls. I don't know like what your expenses are roughly. I kind of just pulled the taxes. I don't know your insurance. I just did rough numbers of what our facilities typically operate at, which is 38% expenses. Across our portfolio, that's roughly what our expenses are. So I put that number in there, and that's I think a number that would work for us. But again, we're very flexible. If you want a little bit more down or a higher purchase price, it all depends on what's important to you. And what I try to do is just work the numbers backwards from there to make sure it is a win-win, that you get what you're looking for, it still cash flows for us, and it makes sense to move forward.
Yep, gotcha.
How would those numbers roughly sound for you?
I'll just throw it at him. I think that's a good start. And then if we have to, we'll just hook up on a 3-way call or something, and they can put their input in too.
Perfect. Yeah, I would love to do that. Do you know when you will get a chance to speak to them?
Well, I'll try to get a hold of them now.
Okay, great, awesome.
Actually, I got one of them that's on a vacation right now, so it'll be next week.
Okay, that works. No worries.
He's playing.
Are you able to like take down a number or maybe get a text message if I send you my personal cell phone number? Because I'm not always in the office. I'm out looking at properties and doing things. I want to make sure if you call in, I can just get a hold of you.
Yeah, let me give you my personal cell phone. This is the business actually.
Okay, I'm ready.
Okay. Sure.
Hang on, it's brand new. I could tell you, but I'd probably be wrong. See if I'm right. Now let me double check it. Hey, I did it right.
Awesome. That's your personal cell.
Too many sixes in there. I had.
There's a lot of sixes. Well, I appreciate it. I'll follow up with you early next week, you say?
Yeah. Stay tuned, and I'll kind of throw this at them and see what they say. They might even say, "I don't want to sell,"
I completely understand.
Doctor, and I thought, well, I'll entertain the call. I've been telling people, no, I'm not interested.
That's literally the same thing that happened with my guy in Texas. It took a while also for him to. It was actually the first call we called him. He did pick up. Actually, it was a mail piece. We sent him a letter saying we were interested in buying it, and he called us right away. But it took 3 months to get the deal done because he's talking to his daughter. It's a big decision. So we have no time. We're not in a rush. So whatever works for you and your partners.
You definitely have to make it a win-win for everybody before you pull the trigger on it. That's for sure.
100%. That's like literally every time I do these deals, and I've purchased most of my portfolio with seller financing, and it's just it just typically is just more of a win-win rather than letting the banks win and the banks dictate the terms. When we can work directly with you, it just makes it easier. It's a quicker close. It's a smoother close. There's no committees or anything like that. It's literally just working directly with you, coming to terms, and just making sure everybody, is in agreement and it is truly a win-win. That's like literally the most important thing. It's what I tell all my staff. So that's what we aim for, and that's what we look to do with you here, Kevin. So hopefully we can work this out. And I'll text you from my personal cell phone so you have all my info. And then if you are ready before next week, feel free to reach out anytime. Or if not, then I'll give you a call on Monday.
Okay, sounds good.
Awesome. Thanks.
Thank you.
Have a great day. Bye. Ooh, I want that deal. I want that deal so bad. That's a good one. Fucking manifestation.
Yeah.
Yeah, manifest that shit. Cool. You know, I think they're open to it. The number I gave him, he said would work. Just go from there. So, cold call lead, fire lead. We will see what happens with that. Manifest it to come true, baby. And manifested the call to happen. So bang, let's make that happen. 70,000 square feet.
Offer same day. Let's go.
Yep, like that. Like, obviously next time you could come in because it didn't take me that long. But like everything's there, fucking easy. Ba, 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 ba. Plug it in, make the offers. Just need more of those.
Okay. Sweet.
So I'll follow up on Monday and call if we get anything else between.
Ooh,
I fucking like that
one. That was juicy.
Yes. Subscribe to see if we lock up this seller financing deal. Can't wait. Bang, bang.